Every generation will face financial hardship in their lifetime, but are Gen Z truly screwed when compared to previous generations? Or does perspective matter? Stay tuned until the very end of the video, because we'll uncover some surprising truths along the way. Are you a part of Gen Z? If so, you are probably all too familiar with the housing situation being a major problem. It seems that young people today have it tougher than ever when it comes to getting on the property ladder, and many are resigned to the idea that they'll never own a home. But is that really the case? Let's take a closer look at the numbers and compare them to other generations when they were in their 20s. Check out this graph that shows the median house price of homes sold in the United States over the past 38 years. It's incredible to see how house prices have skyrocketed from $80,000 in 1984 all the way up to around $460,000 in 2022. That's an incredible 475% increase, but wait, there's more to this story. Has the median salary also kept pace with the rise in prices? Let's check out the numbers for the median household income in the United States over the past 37 years. Back in 1984, household incomes were around $26,000, while in 2021, they are around $70,000. That's an increase of 169%. It's no wonder that Gen Z feels financially screwed when you look at the figures like this. But is Gen Z the only generation struggling from this? This is a table that breaks down the amount of times a household salary goes into a home for every generation, for when they were in their 20s. Brace yourselves because it's not pretty. It took roughly 3.5 times a baby boomer's household income to buy a house, 3.6 times a Gen X household income, 4.7 times a millennial household income, and finally a staggering 6.6 times a Gen Z household income just to buy a house. As you can see, it's getting harder and harder to buy a home after every generation. But is housing the only thing that makes life difficult for Gen Z? Unfortunately not. College tuition fees have also skyrocketed and put many young people in a huge hole of student loan debt, which may take years or even decades to repay. This debt is preventing them from achieving any kind of financial stability. Let's compare a baby boomer's college expenses to those of a Gen Z student, while taking into account inflation and a 40-year span. In 1980, a baby boomer student attending a public in-state college paid $2,870 in tuition and fees. Fast forward to 2020, and a Gen Z student attending the same college might have to pay $10,560 in tuition and fees. But that's not all. Other costs like room and board, textbooks and other expenses have also increased significantly over the years. It's worth noting that while many baby boomers may have been able to attend college with little to no debt, Gen Z students are weighed down by a significant amount of student loan debt. The interest on this debt makes it even harder for Americans to pay off their loans, keeping them in debt and hindering their ability to save for a house or other important financial goals. Gen Z has had a wild ride lately, facing both the COVID pandemic and the Russian invasion, which caused a surge in oil and energy prices, with banks printing more money to stabilize the economy. It's no surprise that many experts predict Gen Z will face its first recession soon. But before we conclude that Gen Z is the unluckiest generation, let's take a look at history. Millennials entered the workforce during the Great Recession and faced similar financial challenges as Gen Z, if not more. Gen X also faced economic uncertainty, high unemployment rates, and stagnant wages in the 1980s and 90s. They also suffered during the housing crisis in the late 2000s, which significantly impacted their finances. Even baby boomers, who experienced economic growth and prosperity in the post-World War II era, had their share of financial challenges, including inflation, the oil crisis of the 1970s, and the Great Recession of 2008. Many boomers have also struggled to save for retirement and manage healthcare costs as they age. And let's not forget the silent generation, who experienced the Great Depression and World War II. The point is, every generation has faced its own set of unique financial challenges, making it challenging to determine which generation has faced the most hardship. What's more important is to recognize that many people across generations have faced economic uncertainty and financial difficulties. As we look towards the future, it's crucial to support and guide upcoming generations through the economic uncertainty and financial challenges they face. After all, we're all in this together. While it's easy for Gen Z to feel discouraged by the challenges, It's important to remember there are also countless opportunities available to this generation. Thanks to the digital age and the power of technology, young people today have access to a wealth of information and resources that previous generations could only dream of. Technology has opened up countless doors for entrepreneurship and innovation, allowing young people to forge their own paths and create successful careers on their own terms. Of course, there will always be obstacles and setbacks along the way, but by taking control of your own personal finances and making smart decisions, you can set yourself up for long-term success. And if you're still feeling doubtful about winning with money, then be sure to join us for our next video, because we'll be sharing the path to becoming a millionaire the lazy way. The way is so lazy and so easy that even your dog could become a millionaire. And if you enjoyed our video, make sure you subscribe to the channel so you never miss a video.